This is a sequence for hot flushes or just general overheating, so it doesn't need to be particularly connected with menopause or perimenopause, but if you are suffering, then this is a great grounding, lovely gentle sequence to just cool you down, move the energy away from the head where we can often feel the most of our hot flush, down through the body and just distribute that heat a little bit. It would be handy to have a couple of blankets or towels ready, a yoga bolster if you have one, or some cushions. So we're just going to start. You can take a cooling breath, which is one of the other videos that we've got, or you can just sit palms facing up to the sky, lower or close the eyes, and we're just going to take a few breaths here. I'm just going to arrive into this space. Relax the body, relax the shoulders, the face, the forehead. Now, as I said, we could always take the cooling breath, or we can take an ocean breath here. So this is very similar to an ujjayi breathing, if you've done that in yoga before. If we've never done it previously, this is a throaty breath where imagine that you've got a mirror in front of you that you want to fog up. So you breathe in through the nose and very gently out through the mouth. And you can continue with that breath. Or you can bring the lips together but still making that sound internally. And you'll notice that it sounds like the ocean. So this is a very calming, cooling breath. Just taking a few here, or pausing and allowing yourself some time depending on what you're doing. And then when you're ready, you're going to come down to lying on the floor. And we're just going to flatten out the back, gently pull shoulders together, bring the knees up, give yourself that little hug in, and then we're going to take the knees out nice and wide. So we're giving the body a little bit of space here to breathe. You can lift the belly and the chest with the inhale. And soften as you exhale. Hands can be on the shins or the thighs. And so this is our little happy baby variation. This is a nice, gentle way of opening the body. If we're comfortable with doing a happy baby, or we want to give it a try, we take the feet as if they were standing on the ceiling. And we're still gently pulling the thighs down. We can stay here, or you can take the hands to the feet. And this is our full happy baby. We're using the tummy muscles to gently pull the spine long. Head is heavy on the floor. You might even take a very gentle, very slow rock from side to side. We're opening the body, but we're also calming the nervous system. Bringing ourselves back to centre. Release the feet for a moment. Bring the knees in, give yourself that hug. Then you're going to take the knees back out wide, and we're going to do a side-to-side variation. So we're going to extend the left leg out, and then point the feet once again to stand onto the ceiling. And we can extend and bend, extend and bend. You might be able to reach the hand to the foot, lengthen the leg out, or we might be holding onto the thigh as that leg goes long. We can pause there for a few breaths. If this is too much, simply bend the knee back. And then let's bring the knees back together. Little rock from side to side. We're going to take that on the other side. So taking the right leg out long, and hand to the thigh, maybe the calf muscle, bring it into happy baby, take it out long, bending, out long. If we can take the hand to the foot, we lengthen the leg and bend. Lengthen and bend. If you had a yoga belt, you can also do that, hooking the belt on, or we can hold the thigh and take that movement. You can pause here, breathing steady, and then bring it back in. Take the knees together, take the knees round in circles. Take it one way, then the other. And then we're going to come up to a seated. So rolling over and pushing up, or hooking the feet together and rolling yourself up nice and gently. Come into a seated position and just rolling the shoulders, giving the head a little roll, loosen the neck. And then bring yourself over to your hands and knees. So we can have the hands spread, the knees gently pushed into the floor, the feet gently pushed in. You can take the knees a little wider than hips if you're really feeling like you're overheating. Little bend in the elbows. We're going to take our menopause yoga cat-cow tilts. So these are led by the sitting bones. So we're going to inhale, start to lift the bottom, let the belly come down, chest comes up. Exhale, rounding from the sitting bones all the way to the head. Inhale, lead from the bottom. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Release and come back to your tabletop position. I'm going to lower down to the ground all the way. So I want you to take the hands as far forward as you can and lower the body very gently all the way to the floor, hands under shoulders, tucking the elbows in. We're going to come into a sphinx. So we're going to inhale, lift the head and the chest, push the belly down to the floor. We're going to pause here for a few breaths, shoulders released. You can take that ocean breath or keep the breath natural. An option to add on here would be to take the fingertips to the floor, lifting the palm up. You might even push a bit further up if that bend is very accessible for you. If not, bring it down. Plenty of options here. Nice long breaths. Then release it down. And push into the floor. Come all the way up. to your tabletop. Take the hands back onto the shoulders. And let's just freestyle it by wiggling the hips, taking the body round in circles. Then you're going to settle into a child's pose by taking the toes together, knees out lovely and wide. Taking the bottom down. Now, if you are feeling quite overheated, you might want to keep the body lifted. Just let the head be gentle. Or you can take the arms down and the head to the palms. Just keeping that space under the body so you can release the heat. Taking a few moments there. And when you're ready, just lifting yourself up. This is where you're going to grab your bolster. Now this is an option for everybody, but you might be a fan, you might not. You're going to roll your blanket up and place it just about where your hips are going to go when you lower down into Sphinx. So we come down, we place the blanket just above the hips. Lower all the way down for a moment so you can wiggle about, you can get it there. Bring the hands under the shoulders and then lift into your cobra. Now the other option here, because this can be a little intense, is to come into a Sphinx. So elbows under the shoulders, you're lifting up, nice big back bend here, a little more gentle. Yeah, and the blanket is just adding onto the sensations. We're opening the chest, we're opening the hips at the same time. And the gaze is forward. You can take it up a little to stretch into the throat. When you're ready to come out, you just lower down to the floor, popping the hands back under the shoulders, pushing up. And again, just lowering back into your child's pose. You can use the blanket to pop the head on. You can even take the arms back and rest here. Taking a few breaths. When you're ready to come back up, you very gently lift yourself up, bring the knees together. Take a moment there. You're going to move the blanket off to one side for a moment and come over onto the sitting bones. Taking the legs out as wide as feels comfortable. Now this is where you might want your bolster with some cushions. You can use yoga bricks and things to make this more accessible. You can also use your blankets. So you can pop your bolster in front of you or your cushions. And we're going to take the legs out wide, little bends in the knees. Toes are soft, we're not flexing hard. We're going to take the arms to the bolster and gently fold forward. So you may need this a little higher. So just propping up with more cushions, bigger cushions, more blankets. You know, use everything in the house to make you comfortable. You're going to lower the body and then lower the head down. And so we're opening the body, but we're also very supported. If the forehead on the cushions of the bolster doesn't feel great, just take the head to one side. Relax the arms, relax the face. And let's turn the head if you've got the cheek on the bolster or the cushions. And then bring it back to centre, slowly rolling yourself up. So give the legs a hand to come in, give them a little swing from side to side. And move your cushions and your blankets to one side. Bring the feet together. So you're in a cobbler's pose. Now the closer the feet are to the pelvis, the more you will feel this in the thighs, in the hips. So it depends on what kind of sensation you want. If you feel like sort of a deep sensation kind of day, then just move them closer. Taking the hands to either the feet or the ankles or the shins. For a nice long back to start with. And we're just letting the knees fall to either side. And then we're slowly going to lower the body, bend the elbows, and let the head go heavy. So we're not worried now that there might be a slight rounding of the back. And just breathing into the space of the body. Almost imagining that the crown of the head could come into the feet. If you want that gentle pose, just slide the feet away and you find that you fold a little deeper. And then gently lifting the head. Take the legs out long, give them a little shake, a little movement. And then we're going to come into a reclining cobbler. So you can use blankets, cushions, a bolster, all different ways to do this. So what we want to create is a little space where we are slightly lifted. We're not completely laid down. So it can be easy to do this in bed. So this is just a nice one-off posture to do. We're coming with feet together. We're going to lie down onto the bolster or to the cushions, making sure the back is fully supported. Letting the arms go out. We've got a lovely wide cobbler, so we're not looking for the feet close. We're looking for the feet nicely far away. You might even put cushions underneath the thighs so you haven't got a stretching sensation. And just take a moment here. So the arms are wide, the legs and the pelvis are open. You can come back to the ocean breath, or even a cooling breath over the tongue between the teeth. And relax here. Take a moment to release the energy, release the heat from the body. You may even take a lovely long inhale and sigh it out. Nice and loud. Take your time. If you want to stay here for much longer, just stop the video. But when you're ready, finding your way to come out of this posture. So you might want to support the legs as they come in and then rolling off the bolster to come to seated. Now I would say that is a posture that you can stay in for 5, 10, even 15 minutes, maybe longer, particularly on hot days. Just to open. It can be done in bed, on the floor. So a really useful one to release the heat. Hope that has cooled you down. Namaste.